3 Amazon data centers. Obliterated. Nvidia shut down overnight. Google employees stranded. $200 billion vaporized from Samsung and SK Hynix in less than 2 weeks. The largest oil supply disruption in the history of the planet. And tonight, right now, 60 Iranian hacker groups are inside American infrastructure, deleting files, killing systems, and hunting for the kill switch to your water supply, your power grid, your hospital networks. This is not a war being fought in a desert 10,000 miles away. This war just knocked on the door of every American company, every American bank, every American city. And the United States government is not telling you how bad it already is. Buckle up, because what you are about to hear in the next few minutes is the story that Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and the White House are all quietly terrified about, and almost none of it is making the top of the hour. We are 14 days into Operation Epic Fury, and while the Pentagon has been counting missile launchers destroyed and drone batteries eliminated, Iran has been executing an entirely different kind of war. A war that doesn't need a single soldier on the ground. A war that doesn't care about air dominance or carrier strike groups. A war fought in data centers, in fiber optic cables, in industrial control systems, in the invisible architecture that keeps the modern world running. Here is what Iran has already done. 3 AWS data centers struck physically by drones, 1 in Bahrain, 2 in the UAE. Amazon issued an emergency alert urging all customers to immediately migrate their workloads to different regions. Think about who uses AWS: banks, payment systems, airlines, healthcare platforms, stock exchanges. The moment those 2 data centers in Dubai went dark, the disruption did not stay in Dubai. It cascaded across every system, every company, every transaction that depended on that infrastructure. Iran did not just hit a building, Iran hit the backbone of the digital economy of an entire region in a single drone strike. Nvidia closed its Dubai offices entirely. Google stranded dozens of employees when mass flight cancellations locked down Gulf airspace. Amazon shuttered its entire regional corporate presence. And Samsung and SK Hynix, the companies that manufacture the memory chips that power every AI system, every data center, every smartphone on the planet, lost more than $200 billion in combined market value since February 28th. $200 billion, gone in 2 weeks. But the physical strikes are only the first layer, because underneath them, something far more dangerous is building. The U.S. intelligence community has been firing emergency warnings to American companies and government agencies all week. Private memos reviewed by CNN describe urgent directives to harden potential targets and brace for a significant escalation in Iranian cyber operations. The warnings are not vague, they are specific. Defense contractors, power stations, water treatment plants, railways, hospitals, ports. The intelligence community is telling American critical infrastructure operators, you are on the list, get ready. And they are right to warn, because 60 pro-Iranian and Iranian-aligned hacker groups are already active, not preparing, active, right now. The group called Handala Hack, directly linked to Iran's Ministry of Intelligence, has already claimed breaches inside Israeli energy companies, Jordan's fuel systems, and Israeli civilian healthcare networks. They are not just disrupting websites, they are inside operational technology systems, the industrial control systems that manage physical infrastructure, water pressure, electricity grids, chemical plants. The systems that, if manipulated, don't just crash a server, they can cause physical damage, real damage, the kind that kills people who never heard of Iran and never voted for this war. And then Iran made a move that changed everything. A U.S. medical technology company, Stryker, one of America's largest, was hit with a cyber attack that deleted files directly from employee devices. Not locked them, deleted them. Employees' work phones went dead simultaneously across the company. Stryker confirmed the global disruption publicly. This is the first confirmed significant Iranian cyber attack against a U.S. company inside America since this war began. The first, meaning there is no reason to believe it will be the last. Here is what makes all of this existentially terrifying for the American economy. The war created the single largest oil supply disruption in recorded history. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz has now disrupted 20% of global oil transport for 9 straight days, more than double the previous record set during the Suez Crisis in 1956. Qatar shut down 20% of global LNG. Oil briefly touched $114. The Dow dropped over 400 points in a single session. Global shipping costs have doubled. Air freight prices have exploded. And the UN World Food Program just issued a formal warning that fertilizer supplies, 50% of global urea and sulfur exports flow through the region, are at severe risk of disruption, threatening a food security crisis that could affect billions of people who have nothing to do with this war.
Taiwan, the island that manufactures over 90% of the world's advanced computer chips, is now facing an energy security crisis because it depends on Middle East oil imports that are no longer flowing. If Taiwan's chip production slows, every AI data center, every smartphone factory, every electric vehicle plant on Earth feels it. The semiconductor supply chain is already screaming. South Korea's government has formally warned about dependence on 14 different supply chain inputs that come from the Middle East beyond helium alone. The AI boom, the technology revolution, the digital economy that the entire Western world has been betting its future on, all of it runs through a region that Iran is systematically burning. And now, the target list. Because Iran did not stop at hitting what it could reach. Iran published what it intends to reach next: 30 locations. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Oracle, Nvidia, IBM. The companies on that list are not chosen randomly. Amazon and Google hold the Project Nimbus contract, the $1.2 billion deal that gave Israel cloud computing infrastructure. Palantir provides real-time battlefield intelligence fusion for the Israeli military. Nvidia's chips power the AI systems identifying Iranian targets from the sky. Microsoft runs the enterprise environment that the U.S. defense apparatus depends on. Iran is not targeting tech companies because it hates Silicon Valley. Iran is targeting them because it knows that these companies are the nervous system of the American and Israeli war machine, and it has formally, publicly, officially declared them enemy infrastructure. The first 6 days of this war cost the United States $11.3 billion in munitions alone. The Pentagon told Congress directly, $11.3 billion in 6 days. The economic damage being inflicted on the global economy by disrupted oil, closed shipping lanes, grounded airlines, destroyed data centers, and collapsing semiconductor markets is already orders of magnitude larger than that. Bloomberg Economics has warned of a potential global recession if this continues. The World Food Program is warning of a food crisis. The IEA released 400 million barrels in emergency reserves, and oil prices barely moved. Iran cannot defeat the United States military. It knows that. It never tried to. What Iran is doing is something no air force in the world can stop. It is burning the economy, methodically, systematically. The oil supply, the LNG supply, the shipping lanes, the data centers, the semiconductor supply chains, the fertilizer supply, the AI infrastructure, the financial systems, one by one. Every week this war continues, the damage compounds. Every week the strait stays closed, the food crisis deepens. Every week the data centers are under threat, the AI investments stall. Every week oil stays above $90, inflation eats deeper into every household in America. Iran found the formula, not the formula for military victory, the formula for making America's economy scream loudly enough that the political will to continue this war collapses before the Iranian regime does. The question, the only question that matters right now, is which breaks first, the Iranian regime under the most intense American bombing campaign since the Iraq War, or the American economy under the most sophisticated campaign of economic warfare any adversary has ever waged against the United States in the modern era. That answer is being written right now, today, in data centers and drone strikes and oil markets and congressional hearings across America, where families are watching the gas prices climb and asking a question their president hasn't answered yet. Was any of this worth it? Drop everything you're thinking in the comments right now. Subscribe to this channel, share this video immediately with someone who needs to understand what this war is really doing to the world. We are going to keep covering this story with everything we have. See you in the next one.